Apple dropped the charger out of the box for its iPhone 12 last year and ended up saving over $254 million. Xiaomi and Samsung too are walking in the footsteps of Apple for the Mi 11 and Samsung Galaxy S21. Thinking out of the box quite literally, these brands claim that the aim is to save the environment and reduce the carbon footprint. But the question is, can it just be about saving the environment, or is the agenda cost cutting? We dissect all of that in this video. This is Sumita Karir. This is the amount of tech trash that I have, and all of this is either going inside the back of my cupboards or worse, will end up in a landfill. By the way, the actual e-waste numbers are worse than this mound. India generates over 3.23 million metric tons of e-waste comprising of chargers, TVs, CDs, phones, etc. And by 2030, that number will reach 74.7 million metric tons globally, which is perhaps a reason why Apple, Xiaomi, and now reportedly even Samsung will not be bundling in chargers inside phone boxes. In fact, OnePlus stopped shipping earphones long back. Their mantra: reduce the box size, save on logistics, cut down on mining, and eventually reduce carbon emissions. Businesses cannot just be about saving the environment, right? That's just plain naive if you think like that. Apple reportedly, for 64 million units, saved $264 million last year. Bottom lines and profitability have got a lot to do with it.
The prices have increased because the component prices have gone up. To negate or to take care of that increase in the component pricing, I think taking away some of the charger cost can be seen it through that lens. Plus, obviously, taking it with some of the logistics and the shipments cost. I think that it should be seen as the component cost of finishing and exporting a phone and manufacturing a phone, plus you can pack more in a particular container. To that extent, I think it should be seen.
Secondly, if brands don't pack in chargers, some of us will have to buy chargers separately. And then, not every charger is compatible with your phone. And generally, it's not a good practice to mix up chargers, in which case, we'll have to buy chargers separately from a third-party seller or from companies themselves. That will end up increasing the packaging waste, more emissions, and the carbon footprint of that brand will eventually increase as well. Experts believe that one big reason behind brands dropping chargers could be 5G equipment. 5G equipment like modem and transceiver is generally more complex and costly. For instance, the cost of making iPhone 12 is a 21% increase over iPhone 11. But cutting down on charger costs hasn't brought down the cost of owning a smartphone for us. And then if brands are really serious about saving the environment, shouldn't it reflect in the overall production change? For instance, shouldn't they be making longer lasting products? Our phones, for instance, don't last beyond a year. Okay, max 2 years, but not beyond that. They become obsolete a lot faster than the ones that we used in, let's say, for instance, 2000s. And then repairability of parts, your battery, screen, and other parts of your phone is another major issue. Forget longer lasting and sustainable products, but more products. More variants of the same device with incremental changes are thrown at us every year. Globally, 1.48 billion smartphones were sold in 2019, and Apple, as we know, introduced 5 new phones last year. Samsung at least launched 15 phones last year. Because of an explosion of smart devices, hybrid cars and wearables, the wireless charging market is set to explode to $27 billion in revenue by 2025. So another motivation why this has been done now. But the good news, while the trend will only remain within the premium segment and won't trickle down to the mass segment.
Almost 85-90% of the market in India is less than 20,000 rupees. Now these phones are above 50,000 rupees. It's not impacting many consumers, and frankly, in India, if somebody is buying a 1 lakh rupees phone, he should be okay. If he doesn't have a charging brick at home, he should be okay buying a 2,500-3,000 rupees. And probably brands are testing the market. Now, is it going to be a big trend? I would love to see brands doing it in 15,000 rupees phone, where a consumer is spending 15,000 rupees is hard-earned money, and that's a mass market. And you are telling the consumer that you have to buy another charger for 500 rupees. Now, 500 is not much, and in absolute terms, but for a 15,000 rupees consumer who is looking at value, pure value-conscious consumer, it's going to be a hard sell it needs to be seen from that point of view. I don't think this will be a trend in terms of mass market adoption.
Brands like Apple and Samsung have loyal fanboys all across the world, and not just Apple. Xiaomi in India last October shipped the most number of smartphones according to a report. But if brands indeed want to walk the talk as far as saving the environment is concerned, they first need to address the issue of repairability and of course need to make devices that are longer lasting. Well, that's it from me. This is Sumita Karir signing off. Do let me know what you think of for brands dropping chargers from smartphone boxes. Goodbye and thank you very much for watching.